they're obviously insane players. I love that alliance. That name was just terrible.
I would say the best alliance name was the Hitmen because they were amazing. And I would say the worst, maybe level 6, just because it's a bit basic.
My favorite I haven't seen a lot of seasons, but I really liked the alliance, the Cookout. I love the name because it's a saying that, you know, like Black people are always like, oh, are they invited to the cookout? Are they coming to the cookout? And so I love that phrase. I thought it was hilarious. It was almost like it was kind of like an inside joke, but I love that alliance name. And then I honestly don't really know a lot of alliance names to actually pick out. I don't really think of the names when I think of alliances. I think more so about the people that were within them. So I really couldn't pick out one that I didn't like the name of.
Best alliance name. What comes to mind is the Hitman. I don't know. I just thought that was catchy. I really like that from past seasons. Worst alliance names. Here's the thing, a worst alliance name, it's usually pretty bad because people didn't put much thought into it, which means it wasn't really real. So the worst alliance name is one you don't remember.
Best alliance name in Big Brother history would have to be the Brigade. It sounds cool and it obviously worked out very well. I think the worst name would have to be the Quack Pack. I mean, that sounds so terrible and so weak. No offense to that group because I think they're obviously insane players. I love that alliance. That name was just terrible.
The best is the Cookout and the worst, the Unicorns.
Cookout was probably one of the best, and Frenchie's Kiss, I think, was probably one of the worst, or French Kiss.
The best ones that come to my mind is probably, well, my favorite is probably the Brigade. Obviously, awesome one. Chilltown, which is my favorite. I'm a big Dr. Will fan, so Chilltown was awesome. Something where I wish if I played early on in the season, would love to be been a part of that. And the Cookout last year was awesome too. Obviously, culturally appropriate, and you know they were very successful. And then I can't think of some of the worst ones in Big Brother history. I know there've been some bad ones, like some ones that you like. There's no way they actually just said that. But I definitely don't plan on having a bad one this year. I'm hoping to have one of the better ones, better named alliances. So hopefully we'll see that during the season.
I mean, the Cookout is just a classic name. Like that's something I never would have come up with, but that is an all-time classic. I think the Zach and Frankie combo, the name Zanky was a little bit goofy, might be one of the worst, but I would say those two are definitely top tier.
I mean, my favorite name of any alliance was the Cookout. I think that was like absolutely the most iconic thing ever. As far as the worst name, oh god, I don't even know if I can think of any alliance names other than the Cookout, which is funny because I know I love that one so much. As far as a bad one goes, oh god, there must be a ton. Unfortunately, I can't think of any besides the Cookout, so I'm gonna have to do a not applicable on that one.
So when it comes to alliance names, I feel like I judge them all a lot. So I've been thinking like, gosh, I need to come up with good alliance names or else I'm going to get judged. But my favorite alliance, I would say it was probably the Sovereign Six. And I really like, you know, from BB6, what they stood for, you know, going against the house. So I really liked them. And I thought the name was very fitting. On the flip side of that, I think the worst alliance name also comes from Big Brother 6, the Friendship. I think that was a stupid name. You're there to win a game, not to make friends and be like, oh, we're gonna hold hands and we're the good guys and we're gonna let, you know, get all those bad guys out. Like, I don't know, I just thought they were dumb. I didn't like it.
I think the best Big Brother alliance name would be the Cookout. I just think that that's like so authentic. It's so much for the culture, especially for me being African-American, that really resonates with me. The worst alliance name, I'd say it's a tie between either Bomb Squad from season 16, because I just think, you know, it's maybe a little bit corny, and then Level 6, you know, it's just like, all right, you know, there's 6 people, it's sort of obvious what they're getting at. So I just think there could have been a little bit more creative juice in there.
I'm gonna say the best is definitely the Cookout. It's the reason why I even applied for Big Brother. And the worst name would have to be Grateful with an 8.
You know, I really hated Grateful. I've never been a fan of names that have a number in it. It's so 2005 to me. I think it just nicks it forever. And come on, the Cookout. I'm a girl from Detroit. I grew up with cookouts in my family. That's just top tier phenomenal for me. And then Chilltown, You can't say no to Chilltown.
Well, the best obviously is the cookout, because that the cookout resonates to me on so many different levels. So you know, just for that to be like such a cultural thing, so that was dope. I can't think of a name that I didn't like too tough. I thought they all were kind of quirky and made to, you know, emulate who was actually in the alliance. So I thought they were all kind of cool, but the one that stood out is obviously the cookout, because that rings home to me.